It's week 8. It all starts tonight, Thursday night football. Minnesota Vikings at the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers favored by 3.5 here. The fun part about this game, by the way, records on the screen there. The 3-3 Vikings, the 4-3.
You're so happy.
Chargers. I don't have to memorize it anymore. I don't have to glance at my screen. Thank you, Will, for putting them up there. I hope, they'll be right. I'm sure they're correct. Full trust. You get a lot of division games on Thursday night. You don't get a lot of interconference games here. So fun matchup here, Vikings and Chargers.
Yeah, and a decent time for the Chargers to play a game. Where prime time East Coast. It's like nice mid-afternoon game. It's perfect. Love that. We get the Carson Wentz led Vikings again. J.J. McCarthy at this rate may never suit up again. Like he's just his ankle's still sore.
He definitely wasn't going to come back on the short week.
No, but when is he going to come back? Like this is
I don't know.
Are they ever going to put him back in the lineup?
I mean, it's not like Wentz is tearing it up. I thought he might have a slightly better performance, but
that's the thing. They're definitely not like Wentz is not playing so well that you're like, don't worry about it. We're going to run with Wentz for a while. JJ, keep just
it's a
bide your time.
A volatile Wentz, which was kind of how he was early in his career, even in the way back in the MVP caliber season in 2017. Big plays, off-balance throws, outside of structure plays, and then some questionable decisions in there too. Like he's had elements of that throughout his career. So, I mean, that was a big difference in the game with the Eagles last week with Wentz.
I mean,
the pick six.
The pick six was terrible. He left a lot on the table as well. I mean, he missed Jordan Addison wide open, way underthrown to the point where it stopped it being a touchdown type of play. Like he left a lot on the table there. Having said that, I was also very impressed with his toughness, with the scrambles on third down late in the game. Like he did a lot of good things as well. But yeah, it's not like he's played a particularly clean brand of football whilst being the starting quarterback there.
And on the other side, the Chargers get Joe Alt likely back here tonight. He's missed about a month at left tackle. The Chargers' offensive line, they've had their issues. I mean, the Vikings have had similar injuries and issues up front on their offensive line. It does feel like for both teams, Minnesota's run game going up against the light boxes that the Chargers put out there. They don't put 8 in the box very often, so the Vikings have a chance to run the ball against that front. And on the other side, I think having Alt back, that has a bit of a trickle-down effect for the Chargers' offensive line, where they've had just a rough go of it for the last month when Alt and others have been in and out of the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge for them. Alt is looking like one of the best left tackles in the game, and I think it generally shores up that offensive line. Going up against a Minnesota Vikings team that manufactures a ton of one-on-one matchups up front because of that defense, getting Joe Alt back to try and take care of one of those guys, I think, is a massive development for them.
Big game for both teams. I mean, Minnesota, I thought they had Super Bowl-type aspirations this year, depending on the quarterback play, depending on what they got from J.J. McCarthy. I mean, imagine if they had a guy like Sam Darnold, how good they'd be. Vikings are in last place.
Or Daniel Jones.
Oh, geez.
Each of whom was on the roster last year.
It's true. Anybody who's – that's right. This is the year of have you been in a meeting room with Kevin O'Connell? You're tearing up the league.
Have previously. Can't now.
Not
doesn't
now.
do any good, right? Yeah, had to have been last year.
Well, wait till next year. JJ and Wentz are going to be tearing it up.
Yeah, technically JJ would have been in meeting rooms last year, I assume.
Wentz is going to be the starting quarterback for let's make up a team here. The Raiders.
The Raiders.
The Waiters. Wentz at the Waiters next year, tearing it up because Kevin O'Connell taught him how to play.
Yeah.
Vikings sitting here in last place. I mean,
at 3-3.
At 3-3. But I'm just saying, like every game's massive now at this point. Even though it's a interconference game against the Chargers. Chargers sitting there at 4-3. Now they're tied with the Chiefs, and they're trying to keep pace in the West with the Broncos and Kansas City. Kansas City looking good. I mean, this is a huge game for both teams. Playoff implications, despite no real ties between the Vikings and Chargers here. Hey guys, real quick, only 40% of our viewers are actually subscribed, so let's change that. Hit that subscribe button, and now let's get back to the action.
Yeah, and I think they're similar teams in a way, in that I think both teams have been very badly beat up with injuries, and that's been a huge part of why they are where they are. one of the differences being, I think, when the Chargers get a little bit healthier, like Joe Alt back, I think you expect, Justin Herbert to go back to looking like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL and their ceiling to go, through the roof. I don't think you have the same confidence in that happening if and when the Vikings get 100% healthy. I mean, they're almost there now, and it's probably to the point where you say, I mean, this is it, right? Like Ryan Kelly is on IR still with the multiple concussions, but 4/5 of the offensive line is now back in place, as is the receiving core. It's probably time to say this is as good as you're going to get over the course of the season. Maybe, Ryan Kelly comes back and improves things as well. But like Carson Wentz just doesn't look like he has that kind of level of play in him the way we know Justin Herbert has because he was doing it earlier this season.
Andrew Van Ginkel's out from Minnesota. That's put a lot more pressure on Dallas Turner to pick up the pass rush slack. Haven't necessarily seen that from him. Jonathan Grenard on the other side. That matchup with Alt when they go one-on-one, that's worth watching tonight. I think the matchup, the one that you bring up every week, was Minnesota's defensive backs. Isaiah Rodgers had a rough week last week. I know he had the game of the century a few weeks back against the Bengals, but some of that's luck, some of that's just general volatility. Asking Rodgers, asking the Minnesota corners, Okudah, Byron Murphy, to cover the trio the Chargers have with Keenan Allen, Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnston. If Alt does shore up the pass pro just a little bit, I mean, that's a huge difference in the game. So I'm looking at that wide receiver DB matchup, Chargers versus Vikings.
Yeah, it's such a fascinating defense, Minnesota, because it's incredibly good. It's very difficult to deal with from a schematic point of view. It's complicated, but if you can pick up what they send your way, it is unusually vulnerable, I think, in certain ways for a really good defense. And we saw last week, that's the vulnerability. Like every now and again, if you just trust the guy you have and they're not showing you any kind of complicated disguise, then you've got a one-on-one opportunity with your receiver versus a guy who might not be the best defensive back in the world. Now, Rodgers, is a solid defensive back who had a spectacular game a while ago, but he got wrecked on a couple of big plays, and that's the difference in games like that. You see that the Vikings came out and had to issue a statement, basically the amount of abuse that Isaiah Rodgers got. Like we talked about it a little bit yesterday with the shouty shows, the way the world has just gone to hell. The number of people whose immediate reaction when a player that they have some kind of connection to, whether it's their favorite team or whether it's they had a bet on the game, whatever the reason, this guy screwed me personally. So I'm immediately going to take to social media and just hurl abuse at him, directly. Yes. Racist abuse as well. It's like, what is wrong with you that is your immediate reaction? It's like, I now have a direct connection to this person, and therefore the best use of that direct connection is to hurl like disgusting abuse in his direction because he made a mistake in a game.
Like, all of it's ridiculous and awful.
So disgusting. Like
I'm not saying this is worse or whatever, but the high school recruiting world in the social media era.
Right, when you're doing it to 17-year-old kids.
But that's like, hey, you're not coming to my favorite school, you idiot. You're, go get this terrible education at rival school. It's like, what?
Or even now,
I mean, it's like obviously worse than that.
Right, like people that are fans of high school football. Like, kid makes a mistake. It's like, well, let's go throw abuse at him on social media. It's like, you're like a 40-year-old man, and this guy's a 17-year-old kid. What is wrong with you?
Preaching to the choir, though, because our listeners and viewers would never do anything like that, I know. So it's just, it's pretty absurd. Fun matchup, too. And the other thing to keep an eye on is I'm happy for Al Michaels anytime he gets a nice L.A. game. What's his favorite steakhouse? He gets to.
I don't remember what
it's like steak number 97 of the last 3 years.
Yeah, he's got like his own table by the window.
Yeah, so Al gets, for those who don't know, Al, knocks out a steak at halftime. It's a 12-minute NFL halftime, and he gets a hand-delivered steak right into the booth.
It's not often
at halftime. Like, why is Al still doing this into his 80s?
That's why.
Free steak at halftime. Yeah. That's why.
I mean, it's not often. A lot of jobs and roles around the NFL are kind of dream jobs, right? But somebody rocking up every time you're working at halftime with a steak, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I do a lot of things just for that.
That's why I keep asking, like, if we could get Rubies over here, we'd do more shows. If we could get more steaks over here.
I mean, yeah.
A steak per show?
I'll do a lot of things for a steak.
For sure.
You want to do this thing? Not really. There's a steak in it for you. Okay, let's talk.
All right, man, let's make picks here. Chargers by 3.5. Over-under is just 44.5. I'm really looking forward to this game. I think huge for both sides. Herbert and the receivers, that's what I'm looking toward here for the Chargers. They might be able to even get the run game going a little bit. Feeling pretty good about them. Where do you?
Yeah, I like their offense a bit. The other side is interesting because like the Chargers' defense been very good for a while. It got wrecked by the Colts, like just absolutely hammered. And
the Colts do, man.
Like, look, Carson Wentz is no Daniel Jones. We've always said it, but there is. Like, there's a lot of talented pieces there in that Minnesota offense. And obviously, Kevin O'Connell is a very good coach as well. Like, can they attack that Chargers defense the way the Colts did, or even something approximating that? I'm going to go with the Chargers to both win and cover at home.
3.5, man, that's a tough one. I'll take the Chargers. I trust Herbert and the Chargers a little bit more on the short week here. Thursday Night Football has been wild these last few weeks, though. It's the Giants wrecking the Eagles. It was the Bengals beating the Steelers as home underdogs, both of those. But
everyone's going to do the rewriting history thing with Darnold and the Vikings. I'm kind of more curious now about if they'd gotten Daniel Jones instead. Like that's the what if that I'm actually more interested in at the moment is – what if Daniel had accepted the sort of bridge deal that I think the Vikings were willing to offer him, but he thought he had a better shot of starting, and correctly apparently, in Indianapolis? Like, what if Jones had stayed in Minnesota, having been so enamored with the quarterback room there, and he was the guy, he was Carson Wentz now? I mean, what would that be looking like?
With the history of, look, say what you want about Darnold's tearing it up in Seattle. He had some rough plays the other night, but still been outstanding. But they were the ones who got him on track. They were the ones who got the most out of Cousins. Like there's a track record, and the playmakers in Minnesota, even though the offensive line has had issues, it's a good situation where I don't know if Daniel Jones is in the MVP conversation in Minnesota, but I think he'd have success.
Yeah, I mean, look, the receiving core has been good the whole way. That offensive line early in the season was a disaster, and that's not the case in Indianapolis, and it's not the case where Daniel Jones has played good football. Generally, when the offensive line has been rough, Daniel Jones has been rough. So it might not have looked anything like the same. But that's the fascinating what if, that if I had, some kind of, what are those things, the Palantir, the crystal ball, and the
But J.J. McCarthy would have been the starter going into the season.
Yeah. But it would have lasted. But if it lasted a week and a half before he got hurt the same way, and Daniel Jones comes in instead of Carson Wentz, like that's the what if I'm curious about.
I hate all my picks because, well, they usually don't work anyway. But
I'll take typically bad.
Take the Chargers as well, just like you are.
Yeah.
10-year-old Harry's going to take the.
Really, that's what I should be looking at. How many times do we differ? That should tell me how good to feel about this week. That's enough.
Early season, small sample size.
Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video.
Check the Mic is live every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a thing.
And the all-knowing algorithm is convinced you'll also like these videos, and who are we to argue?